Day 3 has dawned here at DreamHack Open Summer, and with that comes Elimination Day. By the end of the day, we will be bidding farewell to 3 teams as the competition begins to heat up across EU and NA. 2 people we won't be bidding farewell to, though, are the wonderful Christine and Sudan. Pleasure to be joining you guys back here on the virtual desk. Blair, are you excited to be jumping into game number 1, Mad Lions versus Endpoint?
Yeah, UKCS, baby. I mean, I don't really hear about it that often, apart from Smuya, who's right now kind of just, playing FPL. So I'd love to see some... I don't know. I know they have a couple of... They have a Swede, they have a Dutchman in that lineup, but I think Tom mentioned that at this point they are honorary British citizens themselves. So yeah, I want to see what they have in store for us here. For Mad Lions, though, I liked what Innocent did on that day. Like, it wasn't like he was sitting outside from the rest of them. They were playing together like a pack, running with the pack, so to speak. So for them, for Mad Lions to get eliminated, lost place, I don't think that's going to be an acceptable result, despite the fact that they have a new player standing in. So I'm excited, 100%.
Yeah, I definitely am inclined to agree. And make sure you are voting down in Twitch chat. Put hashtag END if you are a UKCS fan, and put hashtag MAD if you want Mad Lions to take this one. I'm very excited to see what the results are going to be from that poll. And as you mentioned, Blair, these 2 teams have already faced up on Saturday, not against each other, against other teams. But Potter, do you kind of see this as a bit of a redemption match for both of these teams?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, who would have thunk a week ago or even a few days ago that Mad Lions would be the first team on the chopping block for a potential elimination match so early on in a DreamHack Open? We got to remember the Mad Lions were a team that was a contender for top 5 potentially even in the world. So they're certainly on that upward trajectory. Now, I do have to agree with Sudan. I think Innocent's debut for Mad Lions side, it was acceptable, but the entirety of the Mad Lions was a little flat. It was a bit uninspiring, especially with the expectations that I think everyone has for that squad. And for the Endpoint side of things, yeah, this is redemption, baby, because that should have, would have, could have been a 2-0 versus Big. And honestly, I think they absolutely deserved it. So coming in here today, I'm expecting them to be hot to trot right off the bat.
I feel a little bit responsible for that Endpoint loss. I got a bit hasty on Twitter. I said it's coming home, and then they went and lost. But you know what? This is a new day. It's the start of a new week. It's Monday, and they're ready to get back into the server. And I think you guys are totally right in saying it was a bit of a baptism by fire coming up against world number 1's Big in their first matchup. And let's talk about it from Endpoint side, because I feel like one name on this roster really stood out to us, and that was Thomas. In the first 2 maps, his entry ability and his aggression was so key, wasn't it, Christine?
Yeah, and Thomas is a guy that we always kind of highlight and talk about. He's just one of those players. He just has it in that server. He knows exactly what to do. And the most impressive thing about Thomas is we've seen him at so many different opens across these last 2 years with so many different lineups. And he always generally finds that individual success. Now that he finds himself on kind of a solidified roster, a solidified team, it's up to him to kind of bring that sort of individual success across the board to the rest of the squad. And we're seeing glimpses of that. Robin also had a fantastic series versus Big with that AWP on that opening day. So certainly, I think this is a really exciting project for Endpoint.
Yeah, I think you're totally right in saying, this solid roster that's coming up. Because, in UKCS, a lot of times players will come, players will go, players will join different teams. But these guys, they've been together for since before DreamHack Open Anaheim, which was way back in February. So it's nice that they've had a bit more of a solid roster coming into it. And I do want to delve into some of the maps that we saw them playing on beforehand. Obviously, Vertigo was that first map, the opener of the entire tournament. Blair, what did you make of their performance on this map? Because they did look pretty good.
Oh, they look good. And one thing I really do enjoy about this team is they deceptively have a pretty deep map pool. I know the win rate's not exactly spectacular in most of these maps. If you look at, for example, Dust 2, you look at Mirage, you look at Overpass in between like the 50%, 60% win rate. And keeping Nuke aside, where they obviously, it's kind of like the permaban, apart from that, they can play all these maps. And the fact that they've been playing so many games over the past 3 or 4 months, especially online games, it's an opportunity, right? You have some of these smaller events, some of these smaller online cups, and that's a chance to flex and try and figure out which maps you're good on and try to work on the mistakes you have. So they're a dangerous opponent. I would not discount them. The way they played against Big that day, the way they seem to have, like I said, this deceptively deep map pool, that's something which could definitely come and bite Mad Lions in the butt later on.
Yeah, and I think that's a really key point, speaking about that map pool, because obviously Dust 2 was map number 2 in that series. That was Big's pick, and we were a little bit surprised at that. Not saying that Big are obviously a bad team on Dust 2, they're obviously very good, but it's the fact that Endpoint were also very good on that. We were a little bit surprised that maybe Mirage wasn't that second pick, and then Dust 2 being the third pick, and it actually did go so close, so down to the wire. And Christine, it was Thomas and Robin that were really stepping up, but unfortunately, Big just managed to best them in overtime.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you bring up Dust 2 specifically, Freya, because going into this matchup with Mad Lions, it's either Dust 2 or Vertigo that Mad Lions will have to make a decision on which one they're going to veto, because you know Endpoint is going to pick one or the other. So as Sudan mentioned, this deceptive map pool advantage coming up for Endpoint, it's absolutely going to play a huge role into these map selections coming up.
Yeah, exactly, indeed. And we'll be delving into the map veto very shortly. But before we do that, we had a chance to check in with one of the Endpoint players. So let's see what they had to say.
Yeah, so our first game for DreamHack was against Big. We knew kind of going into it that it was going to be quite obviously they're the best team in the world, so it's going to be a tough one for us. But we were pretty confident, and I think the result, even though we lost, showed how good we can play, and we're looking to use at least a little bit of that in the next game so we can beat Mad Lions. Well, when we played against them, there were small things that were like what we prepared for them as well, and they weren't doing them. So we figured, or at least I figured, that they had obviously done some work on us and not just sort of taking it for granted that they're playing a lesser team. But when it came to the last map, obviously they just blew us out of the water. We didn't really stand a chance. So yeah, I'd say they're definitely prepared for us, I'd say. So yeah, we're going up against Mad Lions, and obviously when we prepare for them, we can tell that they have a similar map pool to us, and having a roster change recently, so that might not help them. But I do think it will be a good game. Hopefully we can take the win.
We'll be seeing Endpoint jumping straight into the cage against Mad Lions in this first elimination matchup of the day. And I feel like the big storyline here that we've been talking about throughout all of the matches with Mad Lions featuring is, of course, Innocent coming in to replace Bubsky. And Christine, those are pretty big shoes to fill.
Oh, those are such big shoes to fill. Bubsky had so much responsibility across the map to gain that space, gain that map control. And, you know, as I mentioned before, Innocent, his debut, it wasn't too bad. But again, as you mentioned, Freya, those are such huge shoes to fill. So Innocent, he needs to do a little bit more, and the rest of the roster needs to help him get there. I'm looking straight at Shush, and I'm looking at Acor, because Acor yesterday, he seemed to be all alone at a lot of the situations. He was popping off, he was finding openings, but the rest of the Lions weren't able to kind of collapse on the advantages that he was finding. So hopefully today it's a different, more cohesive looking Lions, because individually speaking, we had some showing up and some not. So today they need to come together and form some sort of a unit.
Yeah, I particularly like that you brought up Acor there, because obviously on Mirage, he was, popping off occasionally, but then, it just seemed like Heroic were way more practiced and prepared, and so they should be. They're a squad that's been together for a longer period of time. But speaking of the Mad Lions, we had a chance to check in with them ahead of this match, so let's take a look.
I want to say something about my picture on HLTV, because it's pretty fucked. It's my manager that fucked me up. Against Heroic, we were really prepared, because it's a Danish team and we really want to beat them. But as we just started from our break, it's really rough with our aim, so we're a bit shaky, but we're grinding a lot, and we have our newest team member, Innocent, that we haven't played with that much yet, but we're slowly getting better. There was a bunch of small things we had to adjust during the game, because we didn't have much time to practice. So we wrote down some notes on how to be more prepared for the next game and be better in general. And we improve every single day in small details, agreements, etc. We respect every single team in this tournament, and against Endpoint we should be the better team. So I'm pretty confident that we're gonna win against them. I think we will see Mad Lions in the playoff.
and it is going to be 5-1. Mad.
Shush not so happy with his HLTV photo there, but hopefully he'll be happy with the result of this first matchup. With that, we have to take a look at the map vetoes coming in. Christine, can you sort of start to walk us through this? Because you brought up a really good point about this, the map vetoes that are going to have to come out.
Okay, so here it is. Mad Lions decide to veto out that Dust 2, so Endpoint are picking that Vertigo as it should be because Endpoint have leaned onto this. So Lions with Innocent coming in, this should be quite the challenge. And right off the bat, I already love these map selections for Endpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised Train coming in. I thought Endpoint probably ban out Train, but I guess Overpass being... I thought it'd probably float Overpass because Mad Lions aren't really necessarily good on it or looking that smart on it right now, especially with a new player coming in. But yeah, Vertigo, Mirage, Mad Lions have picked it. They look kind of flat on it against Heroic, I won't lie. And Endpoint, I love this. I like how ballsy they are with these picks. They showed it against Big as well. I don't know, Christine. I feel like this is kind of favoring the UK boys.
I will say that too, but I will also say that Kaden and Heroic slapped around Lions so much the other day that I think they're fully awake now. They're fully awake, so certainly today it should be a different Lions than what we saw versus Heroic.
Yeah, it certainly will indeed. I'm very excited to see what they're going to be bringing to the server. And of course, I'm equally as excited to see the Twitch chat results. 50-50 split down the middle. The UKCS fans are turning up in their droves. I'm super excited to be delving into this first match, and it is shaping up to be a spicy series indeed. It's our first elimination game of the day. And after this, one will be going home and the other will continue down the path to glory. Will it be the UK boys of Endpoint to bring it home, or will Mad Lions claw their way back to victory? It's all happening after this.
Welcome back to DreamHack Open Summer. It's the European Division. My name is Dinko. I'm going to be joined by Hawker, and we're getting into our second day here in the broadcast. It's day 3, but UK Counter-Strike is back. And I mean, Endpoint, they haven't really had the greatest of form in the last couple of matchups, but coming out swinging against Big, the #1 team in the world. So they've given me confidence again, Alex. I'm going to have to predict for the Endpoint roster. You can't go against them.
Yeah, we can't go against them, Dinka. I've got my UK pen as well for a good luck charm. Now, I will be honest, the few times I've shown the UK pen on the stream, Endpoint have lost. So I'm not showing it this time. Hopefully, Endpoint can show up here against Mad Lions. And we're getting underway into Vertigo. This is a really good map for Endpoint. I'm excited to see what they've got up their sleeve. You can already see some nades being brought up into this T-side pistol.
It's going to get to the point where Endpoint is going to ban that pen from all matches. And what? Mad Lions? At this point, obviously, with the new player Innocent, we'll see what they can do with him here on Vertigo. Now, we knew Vertigo was going to be a map involved in this matchup. Well, the Endpoint are very comfortable on, actually. All right, trying to take these fights down towards the bottom stairs. Every single player from Endpoint gathering over here. It's going to be very interesting to see if Shush can do anything from behind this wood. Of course, Roy is the player that's going to be taking that initial attention, trying to pull them to look towards him, so Shush can develop it into a couple of kills here. And there's the opportunity to spray away. 2 kills picked up for Shush. Roy doesn't get anything done as Robin and Thomas fight through, but it's the Cillian still inside of the site, still doing damage as he gets through to Thomas and tries to connect for more. It's all crumbling here. This is back into the 2 versus 2 axe, and equilibrium established once more.
Yeah, Robin gets away. There was a stack on that B site, but he gets away with the bomb, and now Mighty Max can gain some ground over on the A side of things. Mad Lion's not able to rotate over in time. So Mighty Max will look to see if he can gather control of that bomb site. You can see Innocent rotating over, having to clear out these different angles, and that bomb's already being planted. Mighty Max may have been spotted there, but Innocent can't deny. They're going to back away safely.
Well, Innocent starts to move forward. Robin tucked in towards short. Mighty Max right in front of Innocent as he moves forward, trying to take him down. Mighty Max not giving anything up until he pokes his head around the corner for just a second, and Robin going down as well. He thought he could commit to the fight, but Innocent taking away 2, and the new gun to the Mad Lions roster showing up in the pistol round.
Yeah, definitely a good decision for Endpoint to go back to A in the first place, because just getting that bomb down already puts you in a good spot where you get that extra money, where you've got a chance in the post plant, but Innocent shuts him down. A couple of nice shots from him, and now Endpoint have the option to go for this second round Force Buy, but they've decided to go for that safer approach. They're just buying pistols into this one, making sure they get that full gun round into the next. So this is, I think, Endpoint really focusing on getting that full gun round out early. They know that they're normally really good on this T side of Vertigo. We saw it yesterday against Big. I think they got 10 or 11 T rounds. So I think they just want to get those guns out as soon as they can.
They realize in these kind of tournaments, you can't really afford to give away too many opportunities. And Shush is going to take away Crucial. An easy headshot on the M4. An advantage picked up from Mad Lions already. And we're trying to hold this. There shouldn't really be much of an issue for the Mad Lions roster if they play this one correctly. Just hold passive setup. Endpoint starting to gather up through the ramp. Mighty Max leading the charge. Thomas in behind him with the Tech 9. And they're just going to be trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. A bomb plant is the #1 goal here to get that extra cash. It's going to be very difficult with A-Core positioned in towards short and Roy holding at the bomb side itself. And now they start to walk forward. Nice shot from Surreal. Just cracks the head right off Innocent. And now moving forward, A-Core trying to get the timing. He's going to have a perfect timing and a lineup on the MP9. Oh my god, this is awkward. Eventually goes down to the P250 of Mighty Max. Now it's Cillian on the flank. He's going to find himself easy pickings here. The first and the second kill on the Mighty Max. But there's the bomb plant. That was the goal. And well, Thomas potentially had the chance there to take one away. But it's not going to work out for them. A bomb plant and 3 kills though. Endpoint won't be disappointed about that.
Yeah, Cillian having to fly through with the MP9 there to get those kills at the end. Definitely uncomfortable there at times for Mad Lions, and even conceding the bomb plant isn't great, but at least they hold on for the round win. That's the main thing. And now we get to see the full gun round coming on through for Endpoint. Crucial instantly getting that AWP into his hands. I think he was a little bit quiet yesterday compared to what we're used to from him. So I want to see if Crucial can get back to his best, because he's normally one of the stars for this Endpoint squad. And Mad Lions have also got a buy of their own. A-Core having that sniper on the CT side. And oh, he almost gets the chance to land that early shot, but not able to connect this time.
Obviously, coming out of the player break. Oh my god, that's quick from A-Core. He is certainly crispy. Take it away with Crucial, who just got the AWP into his hands, and that's what happens to him. A-Core just absolutely destroying him. He's going to go back for more here as well. A-Core, he's going to take every opportunity that you give him. It's not the start Endpoint would have been hoping for into the first gun round. It's pretty much done. Unless they get a quick play up here into the B-bomb site, unless they get a few kills in, Alex, without being traded, then this round is always looking like it's going to go Mad Lions' way. So that's why Endpoint have to pull the gimmick. They have to try and go for the boost, but Mad Lions are ready for it. And Surreal's forced off the angle, and now the pressure really is mounting for Endpoint. They've got to find a way into this.
He's playing back at this quad position, gets himself an easy kill. And Endpoint are not in a position to really follow up on this. Shush gets another one. Mighty Max alone in a 1v5. This round has just crumbled for Endpoint. And I think it's fair to say that A-Core is now the clear-cut standout player on this Mad Lions squad. So seeing him get involved early, basically just shutting down Endpoint, not giving them a chance to set up their round to begin with, that's exactly what we want to see from Mad Lions. Because we know that Endpoint have some pretty good setups on this map. We saw them yesterday win a lot of T rounds. If you can just do this, though, and take away those options to begin with, that's exactly what you want to do. Just deny Endpoint from being able to have a chance to run their rounds.
A-Core made that look so easy. Crucial had the opportunity at the start of the round. He thought he could stick around and play over the top of the smoke, but A-Core says no. Another push from Endpoint in towards middle. It's going to work out for Cillian. Just the one kill. It's Innocent backing him up, but he's out of ammo, and that's why I use the M4A4.
Still working out okay for Mad Lions, though. The trades are definitely in their favor. Endpoint there, at least getting a couple of kills. You can see why they go for the fast mid play. And actually, Thomas gets another one over the top of the smoke. Roy goes down, but finally A-Core closes it out. Mad Lions are able to get their 4th round on the board, even if they take some casualties in the process. I think this is where we'll see Endpoint just try and take a slower start to this round, though. They'll be wanting to make sure they just don't lose those early picks. They know they've got good executes in their back pocket, so Hopefully for their sake, they won't be losing those early fights, but I'm sure that Acor will be looking for some early action with the AWP once again.
Moving forward is still in. He's going to try and take the fight against Robin, who is actually taking the fight to him. That's fantastic from Robin. Realizes if he hides behind the generator and allows the Cillian the advantage to peek around, he's going to have that kill 9 times out of 10. So Robin realizes he has to take the fight to him. Works out perfectly. They get the opening kill. And finally, Endpoint have a chance at winning the round. They have been absolutely battered in the last couple. They're going to start walking up the ramp. Acor is here, and he is their nightmare. He is still alive, still kicking, and the Molotov goes in as well. It's Roy with one Crucial stepping up, and Innocent getting aggressive, taking a lot of space, and while Endpoint are crumbling again, one by one. Mad Lions are looking so confident, and it's just Surreal left alone into the 1 versus 3.
Yeah, Mad Lions firmly winning the fights for A-Ramp so far at the start of this one. Surreal not with the opportunity he was looking for. Acor's ready on the hold, dodges away from the flashbang. And Innocent there being able to get up close to begin with makes a big difference. You can see Acor holding back. Pretty easy shot for him, but then it was Innocent who was able to move up close and just be that nuisance in their backside. They couldn't clear out that close side. And Endpoint here not having the start they were hoping for on Vertigo. I was saying that I was expecting to see a lot out of their T side. Mad Lions have just been very good at... Wow. Oh my God. I just wanted to see that happen.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Endpoint, you kind of have to respect that happens too. You just kind of have to go, okay, that just happened. Well, the push coming through is Surreal, walking out with an 8 kills. Innocent again, another double. He's been really solid so far, getting these multi-kills before going down. And it's always giving his team a huge chance at winning the rounds or putting them in a favorable position. Now an AK picked up, still an M4 in the hands of Crucial as well. Surreal, he's going to be walking forward with the Kevlar and the AK-47, and the nade kill coming in towards Robin. So it is just the 2 rifles left alive now for Endpoint. And Acor still kicking over towards this A-bomb site. Got 1 kill in the round so far, looking for another one. It's Crucial. He's spotted over the top of the smoke, but it's a Cillian that claims his life, and Shush eliminates Surreal at 6-0. This has been one of the quickest starts we've had so far. Mad Lions just dominating on the CT side. Absolutely nothing Endpoint have been able to do just yet. And that's kind of a scary sign, Alex.
Yeah, especially because the issue for Mad Lions yesterday was that it was mainly just Acor showing up. Innocent was also playing well at times, but we didn't see any of those other players stepping up. But here, Shush has had a really good start. Cillian's been getting kills as well. Acor's still trying this ridiculous wallbang, which I don't think I've seen too much of. But it clearly is not one that's easy to land. He's not got it going so far. But again, Innocent able to get up close. This is a position that Endpoint are going to have to show that they can clear out. In that previous round, it was a problem for them, but looks like this time, Innocent not playing it quite as aggressively. There's only 2 CTs on this A side of the map, so they're willing to give up that ramp control a little easier. Endpoint just slowly working for map control. Focus more on this B side of the map so far. No early fights to speak of, though, and I think this is more of what Endpoint want. A slower start to the round and a chance to try and set up some of their plays.
Mighty Max, the nade ready for the sandbags. Roy takes a lot of damage on board. 43 health points left on him. The Molotov from Innocent. I'm happy that we're seeing better utility usage on this A-bomb start from Innocent. Remember, one of the last... Oh, we'll get back to that. Roy getting aggressive around the side of the sandbags. They don't fully clear it. They're not ready for it. No one's watching. And Roy just gets 2 easy kills from the sandbags. And that really put Endpoint in a pretty unwinnable position at this point. They've got to hope that they can find a flurry of kills very quickly here. And well, that is exactly the way you're going to do it. Crucial with the no-scope through the smoke. And replies there from Acor. A single push from Surreal. It's not going to work out for him. And now it's just Robin left in the open, taken down by Acor. And it feels like Endpoint, when the chaos is there across the board, Mad Lions are the ones in full control. Endpoint can't figure out what's happening.
Yeah, Endpoint aren't even being allowed to approach that A-bomb site because of all that chaos you're talking about in the ramp. There's always these nades coming down. There's always these plays that Mad Lions have just to make it difficult for Endpoint to set up any of those plays. This time it's Roy who's just sitting behind the sandbags, gets really nice timing on that first peek to get 2 easy kills. And then he just, I think, puts a defensive smoke down to be able to try and just play around it, to try and find a further gap to work with. And it just allows the rest of Mad Lions to rotate over to the A bomb site and to be able to assist and start to set up those crossfires. That's been a real issue for Endpoint so far at the start of this one, and 7-0 down. This was going to be a very important tournament for Endpoint. They've been saying they want to break the top 30 in the rankings. They've been so close for a while now. They've been around that 35 in the world mark. If they have a good result here, they can break the top 30, but it's not looking good for them right now, and it's not looking good for them in this round either. Akor's already got that first kill with the nade.
Endpoint's idea, they discussed in the tactical pause, obviously we'll be looking as to what they have up their sleeve going into the next gun round. We really shouldn't expect too much from this one. Mad Lions, though, look how many players they have at short, Alex. This is unbelievable. There's no way you get away alive here. Crucial, he gets 1 kill. Roy's going to spam away and get the other 2, though. And I was just on Robin, left alone in a 1 versus 4. There's a 4 minute left, but he's been tagged, of course. There's a nice shot from Akor, and he seals the deal. This is ridiculous. Mad Lions just styling on Endpoint. As you move into the next round here, Endpoint have really got to win this one. If they don't win this gun round, Alex, we're looking at an incredibly one-sided half where Mad Lions just put themselves in a position where it's almost unlosable.
Yeah, it really has been dominant for Mad Lions, and we haven't seen too much of this Mad Lions squad on Vertigo recently. The last time they played it was actually back at DreamHack Masters, which was a while ago now, but they played pretty close maps on it when they did play it. They lost against Big and Complexity. Those are both good teams, though, and keeping it somewhat close on Vertigo against those two is definitely a sign that Mad Lions can play this map, and we're seeing that here. Astillion finally being tested at mid, and Crucial's unable to connect. At least Robin is able to trade, though. The assist does come through for Crucial, so a 1-for-1 trade at mid. A much better start for Endpoint, because now that's going to force Mad Lions to take some difficult decisions, to maybe rotate some players away from their standard spots. And that's more of what Endpoint need to do to be able to try and find a weakness to exploit.
Well, the nade goes down in towards the stairs. It's Surreal and Thomas taking significant damage. Now Shush, he's had enough. He wants to get aggressive. He played this position in the pistol, a little different variation of it. It might work out for him as well. Bit of an off angle. Thomas not quite ready, and the utility usage is brilliant, but Shush, he only manages 1. He probably should have got more than that. And nonetheless, 1 and done. He's out of there. At least he gets the 1 kill. Now Akor, 13 and 2. This guy is not stopping. He's just unbelievable. Right reads, utility usage is on point. Mighty Mac forced into the open. Another kill for Akor, finally going down, but it's Innocent who steps up in his stead. It's going to be a 9th round for Mad Lions. I mean, 3 kills for Endpoint. It get a bomb plant, but at this point, they need round wins. It's not looking good for them. This is, they're trying everything. They're really thinking about what they can do, but every single time, Mad Lions are just winning the multi-kill rounds. They're just, every time in the duels, walking away with at least 1, and Akor is just doing ridiculous stuff like this. You can't deal with that.
Yeah, the site take wasn't exactly too bad from Endpoint. Like, I think their nades landed where they wanted them to. They only really had to worry about that one position Akor was playing from in terms of the rotators, but Akor played that position so well, so wisely, that Endpoint couldn't get the advantage they needed. Really good stuff from Mad Lions so far. We are seeing that utility usage we've wanted to see. We're seeing that team play start to come through as well. Even though Innocent is fairly fresh on this roster, they've still got that 4-man core that have been together for a long time. And at least Endpoint can get another gun round on the board thanks to that bomb plant in the previous one. And this time round, A-Ramp looks like it's going to be theirs. Mad Lions aren't contesting as heavily for it, but the nades come over the top, and Roy actually gets away with a kill. Innocent going for more. Mad Lions are being so sticky at this position, but finally, Endpoint have won the trades at Ramp.
Barely. I mean, Mighty Max is on 1 HP, but nonetheless, they have won it. And now Astillion trying to patch up the holes. He's going to go aggressive. Straight into the bottom of the ramp. He's going to see no one's there. And Endpoint, they're going to be gathering to the B bomb site, and Shush can reposition. He knows this is a possibility due to the information and the utility being used up towards the start of the map, and he's going to spray away. He gets 1 kill, nearly the second. If he drops Surreal there, that's the round done most likely, but Astillion now in from behind. This flank needs to be perfect. He needs the quick kill on Robin, and he's got it. Now Surreal on 12 HP. This has to be clinical from Surreal, and there's the spray. There it is from Astillion. How is he still alive? Surreal had every opportunity. He did the damage, and Astillion just stays alive on 13, pulls it off, and Mad Lions, they just can't lose rounds, Alex.
Yeah, those are the sorts of rounds that Astillion was brought into this team to win as well. Mad Lions wanted a better fragging in-game leader. Astillion delivering here in the 1-on-2. His first kill isolated against Robin, and then the second man, Surreal, just trying to land those shots. He comes close, but close is not enough for Endpoint at this point. They're down 10-0 on their map pick. This has been a whitewash so far, and man, I think for Endpoint, they'll be so disappointed with this start to this game. They did have a long grind, a real heavy grind before the player break. I think they did take quite a bit of time off because of that, because they were playing, I think, the most maps out of almost any team in the world at that sort of tier 2 and tier 3 level. But coming back into this one, just not looking too sharp to start the day against Mad Lions, and if they're not careful, this opportunity could be snatched away from them because they qualified for this DreamHack event. They went through the qualifiers to get here. They're just not looking like they're on the same level as Mad Lions right now, though.
And it's disappointing because Endpoint looks so good against Big. A little bit of false hope, but we'll see if they can recover it. I mean, it's still early. Still in the first half. Still 5 rounds to go. Endpoint can manage to scrap together at least 4 here. Potentially a chance to still win this. Acor, though, this is confident. He's going to have to fall away now, though. The pressure, the smoke, but he's got Roy instead right in front of him. And he will find him. Mighty Max going down. And a mad advantage picked up from Mad Lions. They're having a great time elsewhere as well. Over towards B. Surreal trying to make a solo play. Trying to get involved in this B bomb site and create space for the Endpoint roster. And it doesn't work out. The kill comes in and Mad Lions just finding easy pickings. They don't even need to fight. They're just taking kill after kill. And Endpoint haven't been able to trade.
Oh, and Rob.
That's ridiculous. 3 players swinging in front of this crosshair. That's unwinnable. There's nothing you can do about that, no matter how good you are.
Yeah, apparently the Danes have got some bad blood for the Swedes or something, because they just ganged up on Robin. All of them just killing him. Yeah, that round for Endpoint, I think, starts to show the mental side of this as well. When you go 10-0 down, you start to just maybe go for some of those solo plays. You start to be a bit more disjointed. Even at the start there, I think Mighty Max was hoping that there was a player behind him. I think he was assuming that he had a player ready to fight with him, but it ends up being a solo fight. And if you're taking solo fights against Mad Lions when you're already 10-0 down, you're probably going to be losing them. I mean, just look at the scoreboard. Acor, 15 for 4. A bunch of players up there at double digits. No one on the Endpoint side coming close to anyone on the Mad Lions side of things. And at this point, it is a desperation station for Endpoint. They've got a couple of AKs brought into this one.
I like that, Alex. That's a good one. And while Acor getting aggressive towards the top of the B stairs, he's looking for that early pick in. Something I've noticed here, Acor is everywhere. You can't really predict, you can't set up around him. You know, if they think in their heads here, Endpoint, let's just avoid Acor at the start of the round, it's impossible to do that because he is everywhere on the map. He's so dynamic. He's over towards the A ramp, now he's over towards B. And if you have an AWPer that has that ability, like you said, the clear star now of this Mad Lions roster, now Bubsky's gone. Acor, they can set everything up around him. He can have so much freedom now with this AWP, and that's scary.
Yeah, Acor's definitely capable of being the standout player on this squad. We've already seen it. And I think something that Acor's also really good at, especially for an AWPer, is his utility usage. And we've seen a bit of that in this game. We saw those nades he put over towards the B side of the map. We've seen a couple of flashes from him. I think he's such a well-rounded player for an AWPer as well, which is really nice for Mad Lions to have. Those Danish teams in general like to play that more structured style. And, well, Acor has already landed that first shot. A couple of players sitting in this smoke, but there are two CTs waiting. Oh, there we go. Crucial getting a couple of kills. Now they may be able to get onto this A-bomb site, but Acor is still here to stop them. Wallbang headshot onto Robin. He's somehow still alive. He's not burning in that position. And he's buying so much time for his teammates. Shush now arriving to assist. And Thomas has got 3 players to try and win the clutch against.
Oh, they do so much. Crucial getting the double in towards short, but it doesn't matter. Acor still shutting them down. Some incredible shots coming in again. And a 12th round picked up for the Mad Lions. Endpoint, this is their map pick. And they haven't been able to win a single round in this first half so far. I remember, though, casting Endpoint a little while ago. Now, this was about a month or 2 ago. On Vertigo, and they did have sometimes pretty quiet T-halves. They didn't manage to claw it back on the CT side and make it look respectable or even win the map, but the problem is here, Mad Lions are barely making any mistakes. And they haven't won a single round, so they're not giving themselves even a small buffer to play with.
Yeah, this was also the map they beat big on yesterday, remember? So this is just a complete turnaround. I think it's fair to say that Endpoint have not been playing up to the level they would be expecting as well. Just individually missing some shots. I think a lot of the times they have been kind of disjointed in some of these rounds where they haven't been able to trade. But this time, Mighty Max has given them the man advantage. This is Endpoint's best chance in a while to try and get their first round win on the board. Acor has done some damage to Robin here, though. He knows it as well. That nade almost finishing the job. Acor is hungry. He's going with the pistol, and he's going a bit too far. Thomas is able to shut him down. But elsewhere, Mad Lions are getting all the kills they need. It's just Robin and Thomas left alive.
It's just crumbling every time for Endpoint. No matter how hard they put the work in, it just always seems to backfire. And Mad Lions are always 2 steps ahead. Now it's Robin left alone. In T-spawn. The bomb nowhere near him. He's got an AWP and 60 HP. He has to save this into the next round. It's going to be 13-0 up for Mad Lions. They're on the hunt as well. They know they can get rid of him in the timing. Oh my god, it's awful. That just sums up how this game is going for Endpoint.
I feel like this is the curse of UKCS continuing, Dinko. You know what? If I were Mighty Max, Surreal and Thomas, I would go and live in Denmark for like 5 years, get dual citizenship, and just change my flag to Denmark. Because I swear the UK flag is cursed in CSGO, Dinko.
Should do a thesis on that. And well, Roy throwing the Molotov down in towards the bottom of the A ramp. Utility being used up very quickly here for Mad Lions, and it's going to do a lot of damage onto the Endpoint squad. They've taken so much on board. And Crucial with the Deagle. And slow down now. Gonna try and be a little bit more methodical in their approach. Just got the pistols in play, leaving enough money for the next round. You know, they won't be able to compete with a scrappy buy. They want to get the rifles out as quickly as possible. Will Innocent taking down Thomas. Crucial coming back in with a Deagle, but it's a Cillian on the double. 8-core stepping up as well. And he's so confident. Look at this. Running over the top of the AWP and BM as well. 14-0. Mad Lions, 2 rounds away from victory. And we haven't even got to the second half.
This time, Endpoint are allowed to try and use their nades into the A-bomb site, but even then, Mad Lions don't play retake. They just fight past the smokes. Acor even jumping on top there. I think for the most part in this game, the problems for Endpoint have just come from them not being allowed to set up their plays, right? A lot of aggression from Mad Lions, a lot of rounds where they're taking things away from Endpoint. But this time around, Crucial has got that first kill, and maybe, just maybe, Endpoint will be able to get 1 round towards the end of this half, Dinko. I want to see at least 1 round on the board for them.
Yeah, that would be beautiful, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Acor is still stepping up. They've got that 1 kill, but no matter what Endpoint have done, if they get the opening kills, and I say kills, I mean, when Crucial get that double up in towards short, they still end up losing the round. Mad Lions are very good at pulling these rounds back, so this is the best chance yet for Endpoint. 4 versus 4 as they head into the B-bomb site. Passive setup from the CT side as well, but the utility is on point. They're ready for this push. They're ready for them coming this way. And well, an opportunity given to Crucial, but he can't land the shot. It was very slim on the angle, and now it's a Cillian 14-3 himself, make it 15. He might just clean up Crucial as well. It's crumbling. 15 rounds will be on the board here for Mad Lions. And Crucial is just going to be hiding in the smoke, just biding his time, delaying the inevitable. And there it is. 15 rounds posted. It's time for a short break. It feels like this game is going to be very short as well. We'll be right back after this.
Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Fly individual, high in the spiritual. Life can't get rid of you. This what I'm gonna do. Kick off my shoes, get in the mood, get on down, get in the groove. I feel alive, I can't hide it. Look in my eyes, I feel excited. I got the Midas touch, and I'm the brightest. I'm gonna try my luck. Are you ready to roll? I'm getting on they last, I'm steady on go. I'm all up in the back, I'm heavy a pro. I take them all to class, I pit on the show. I do it with pizzazz, I polish my own crown. They know I'm in my bag, I body them on down. I'm who they can't pass, I handle my all frowns. They cameras all flash like this is my song now. Yeah. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me do my thing. I get out of control, I take off like a plane. I groove, check the moves, I rock out with a bang. I do just what I do at the top of my game. Top of my game, lost spit to shame. Come deal with the crew, I stop them in a lane. Who's worried about who? I drop them with a flame. They coming for round two, like watch me entertain, yeah. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Bust another move, hello, bust another move, down. Get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Get on down, bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down. Bust another move, get on down, down. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Watch me groove, I move, I get so loose, I lose my cool. Fly individual.
It's been a nightmare half for Endpoint. 15-0 to Mad Lions. They haven't been able to do anything on their map pick. They haven't won a single round from their T side. And this might just be one of the strangest scenarios, Alex, where the halftime break is longer than the second half.
Yeah, that could be true. Oh, Asilian's lining up a smoke here. I hadn't seen this lineup before. Be nice to see where that one goes. Mad Lions currently have most of their players focused on mid, though. And there we go. That smoke lands on the right side of mid to be able to cut off that elevator position. Nice smoke thrown by Asilian. Lines them up for the quick mid aggression, but that counter flash will slow Mad Lions down.
Well, quick play from Roy, getting the double kill on the Tech 9. Mighty Max able to stand tall as well on the second kill, just cleanly tapping away. And that's the bomb gone, but Acor, he has been their nightmare, living in their heads. And there it is, Mad Lions with the 16-0. That is unbelievable for Mad Lions. They come into this with question marks, whether or not they're going to have that firepower. And so far, so good. Acor was showing up, being the star player that we know he has to be in this team now. And the fact that Innocent was finding so many multi-kills, it's an impressive performance for Mad Lions, and one that Endpoint will want to forget.
It does feel weird that we just casted for like a minute, and that's the game over, right? We had that long break, and that's it. It's all done. Yeah, that was just rough for Endpoint throughout. I think especially at the start of the game, Mad Lions did really well at just taking away areas of the map, making Endpoint uncomfortable. And fair play to Mad Lions, they were just all landing their shots individually, showing that they are still superior to Endpoint, at least on this first map.
Yeah, we're going to have a short break, but then the analysts will be back with a very tough task of breaking that one down. There's not a whole lot to look at, but we're going to go to a short break and we'll be right back with the desk.
We thought Vertigo may be favouring Endpoint in this first best of 3 series, but Mad Lions say no. They take it 16-0 in a flawless run, a star-studded performance from the day. But Blair, I think it's safe to say that we didn't necessarily expect this form coming into this map, especially as it wasn't Mad Lions' map pick.
Well, you know, in 1949, we had a number of world leaders come together to ratify the Geneva Convention, and that was made for games like this. That was just inhumane. Endpoint were broken. There was one round number 12, where 3 players went for the 4 spy and 2 of them just went for an eco. That's where their minds were. They just lost completely, just looking for a round. And Mad Lions, I think Potter had it right. They got slapped away by Heroic, because that was a statement right there. Holy shit, that was something.
It was absolutely unreal. And I think just from those highlights there, we saw Acor, the man of the hour, really pulling in those frags. And that is somebody that you highlighted earlier, Potter, that we had seen a little bit of flares of, greatness against Heroic, but he just showed up in full force here today.
Oh, he absolutely did, man. And he's got to feel great because not only did he show up, but he was absolutely flexing on everyone the entire time in that server. Not only was he hitting his op shots, he was showing us movement. He was showing us crazy wall bangs that I've actually never even seen an opper attempt before. So this was certainly Mad Lions having a lot of fun and completely dominating. But I do have to say that Lions, they didn't just hit their great shots. They had a lot of teamwork to back them up, to prepare them for that. Their A ramp control, the different variations that they're throwing Endpoint's way, it really made Endpoint so nervous because at any point creeping up that A ramp, they were scared of Innocent being on their right. They were scared of A-Core being on that long range on their left. So there were just so many angles at all points that Endpoint had to deal with. And Lions, they never let go of that pressure.
Yeah, I think that's something that we really need to delve into because we've already seen Endpoint on this map. They actually went up again against world number 1's Big earlier on Saturday as their debut match, and they managed to win it. So coming into this one, getting 16-0, A, it's got to be really painful, but B, I really want to break down why. What, Christine, in your opinion, what do you think Mad Lions were doing a bit differently other than, that sort of A-ramp control? Was there anything else that you saw flares of greatness from them?
It was teamwork. I mean, because you even saw that A-Core, he was hitting all his shots, but he was providing so much utility as well. Shush, he was a lone man at B, but he never felt alone. At any point when he was under pressure, he had the flashbangs to assist him. Then if we go over towards A, once again, A-Core, he was that point of contact, but he always had Innocent right on his left, and he had Roy right in front of him. So at any point, if he felt any sort of pressure, if he felt that Endpoint was going to start gaining space on him, Innocent would swing out, Roy would swing out. So really, Lions had all their bases covered. Now, moving on to Mirage, I think it will be more or less the same story. And for Endpoint side of things, they just got 15-0'd in the first half, 16-0'd completely in the map. Yesterday, they had a 14-1 on Mirage. Only one round on the T side for Mirage. So more or less the same story. The one caveat here, though, is that was the third map. They were a bit deflated after a long 2-mapper. But once again, how deflated are you going to be after a 16-0 loss? So definitely a lot of question marks for me going into Mirage for Endpoint.
Yeah, there certainly is. And I want to get your thoughts on that as well, Blair, because as Christine mentioned, that was the third map. They were already down and out of that series once that map had been concluded. What do you do as a team after that result? What are they going to be saying to each other, especially going into Mirage, which is actually Mad Lions map pick as well?
I mean, it's going to be 2 different storylines. Against Big, they had that series. It was almost a 2-0, right? And then losing, almost closing it out, and then losing it and heading to Mirage is a different mindset because you're like, oh, we almost had that. In this scenario, if I am calling for the team for in-game leader or player in that lineup, I'm going to be like, forget about it. We just got smashed. It's fine. It's easier to forget a complete smashing or dropping than, losing a very close fought series against the best team on the planet right now. So I'm sure they're experienced enough. They've been sticking to it for 7 months now. They've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike as well. They should still be able to put up a fight, but for me, it's not about Endpoint, what they can do. It's more like Mad Lions being activated and now heading into Mirage, a map which they picked. Yes, they lost against Heroic, but I'm sure they've been able to figure out the mistakes they made. They were looking very bad, to be honest, in Mirage. Just that Heroic were like a different league altogether, and Cadian especially just being unplayable at times. I'm going to say, like, I expect to see a better performance from Endpoint. I'm sure it's going to happen, but I feel like Mad Lions is just going to run away with it. They look like an unstoppable pain train at the moment.
I think you might be very right indeed. And it's time to find out whether Endpoint can redeem themselves. There's only one map left for them to do it, but can they? Is it going to be Mad Lions taking this in a clean sweep 2-0? We'll be finding out after this.